Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, we're doing the aftermath on the Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter welterweight showdown that took place on Saturday, November 20th, a little over 2 weeks ago now. Ended up being a very good fight, and very close fight between the two. And everybody should know by now that Crawford won that fight by TKO in the 10th round. It started off, hot. Crawford was timing and setting his punches up, but Sean Porter was doing his thing, man, and it was a good fight. The website I was following the fight on said that they had, heading into the final round, they had Porter winning, I believe it was 5 rounds to 4. And the judges had Crawford up 5-4, 2 of them, and one had it, I want to say it was 7-3 or something like that, 8-2, something like that. But, it ended up being a very good fight all the way around. And, the two, they just, they mixed it up very well. It ended up being one of the better fights of the year in terms of back and forth action. Both guys really stepped up their game. It was a fight that Crawford needed to win, and he went out there and he set that left uppercut up. He was landing it, and then he landed the one punch that put Porter down, that hurt him. Porter got up, but you could tell he was a little dazed, and then combination punching by Terrence Crawford just sealed the deal, and he left no doubt and became the retained the title with that win after Kenny Porter, Sean Porter's dad, stepped in and threw in the towel. So now the aftermath of that fight. In the aftermath for both men, we started with Terrence Crawford, the winner of the fight. For Crawford, after the fight, he announced that he is not going to be fighting with Top Rank anymore. That they're done. He straight up put Bob Arum on blast. So Bob Arum sitting right next to him. He said, Bob couldn't get me the Errol Spence fight, so I'm done. My decision's pretty much made. Crawford, we don't know what he's going to do with that. Is he going to sign with the PBC? We know Matchroom is not interested in signing him. I think part of the reason is Crawford, outside of the PBC, is going to struggle to get opponents. So why not stay a promotional free agent is what I think Crawford should do. See who's willing to bring him in to fight on their card. That way it opens up the opportunity for anybody to fight him at any moment. But Crawford's going to be avoided. He is, unless the PBC wants to deal with him. He's going to be an avoided fighter. So I really want to see what goes down. I don't believe he can be ready in time for an Errol Spence fight in February or March. Maybe he can. It's really up to him and how hard he trains. But right now, I'm not hearing that that's very realistic. I think Errol Spence in February, March, probably going to fight somebody like Virgil Ortiz or make his mandatory title defense of his IBF title. And then Crawford in the first half of the year is going to have to do something else. Now, we don't know what that something else might be. Maybe he could get Virgil Ortiz or somebody along those lines to get in the ring with him, But we really don't know as of right now. But I hope Crawford gets a good size fight following his victory. He's 34, and he went out there and really, knocked out a guy who had never been knocked out, stopped him, and proved to the world that he is right now the best welterweight in the world at 147 in terms of, what him and Errol Spence have done. I think he deserves this. Errol Spence barely beat Sean Porter by a split decision. Crawford stopped him. And to me, that signifies the difference between the two. So, that was a big win. Terrence Crawford, hopefully he has big fights coming in the future. Hopefully 2022 works out very good for him. I really hope he ends up getting the Errol Spence fight, the unification or undisputed title fight at some point. We'll see. But the aftermath for Sean Porter now. A tough loss for him. Getting TKO'd like that is never an easy thing for a guy that's never been stopped. But according to Shawn Porter, he was retiring win, lose, or draw. Excuse me 1 second. I find that hard to believe. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. We will never really know because he didn't win. But if he would have won, it's hard for me to not see him and Porter fight again, or him and Crawford fight again, or him and Spence fight again to unify belts. You know, him taking the title back to the PBC. You telling me we're not going to see unification bouts? Hey, maybe he wasn't going to really fight. We don't know. But, you know, Shawn Porter, to lose like that, you know, it was tough on him, but he fought his ass off. He fought great. He really showed the championship medal that you're supposed to have, and he showed that he's a dog and that he's still one of the top 3 welterweights in the world. But sadly, after the fight, he decided to retire. He decided to say, that's it. You know, and there's no shame in that. I mean, Shawn Porter at this point, after a loss like that, what does he really have to prove? Who else is there out there for Shawn Porter? And the truth is, really nobody. He's fought everybody. And now we're getting a new crop of welterweight coming in to take over the division. Porter's, 34 years old. He's been at the top of the division for 8 years. Since 2013, when he won his first world title, beating Devin Alexander. You know, he's been at the very top of welterweight, one of the best fighters there. And he's been in so many big fights and good fights. And, you know, he's won a few, he's lost a few. And, you know, I think it was time for him. I think, this one made sense to, go out on his shield and prove himself. He's got a budding career as a commentator. And, he's smart, very intelligent. And, I always like to see great fighters, Hall of Fame fighters like Shawn Porter go out as with a victory. Go out there, fight whoever, go out with a victory. But, again, I can't blame him for throwing in the towel and saying this one's it, He fought the best, he lost, and, that's it for Shawn Porter. But a great career. I'll get more into it with when I do my podcast, but really happy that Shawn Porter put on the performance that he did and went out a champion. And Terrence Crawford, I'm very happy about the way he won that fight and finished that fight, and I can't wait to see what he does next. So that's it. That's the aftermath for Porter versus Crawford. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing. You be here with the truth.